Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for joining me today. So today I'm going to be talking about something that's a little bit controversial in some classrooms, and that's to do with no hands up, not using any hands up kind of strategies in your classroom with students. So if you're interested in finding out why I don't use any hands up strategies with my students or in workshops with teachers, and what alternatives there are, then please keep on watching. Okay, so I have a protocol with my students and also with teachers in workshops about not putting their hands up. And I think it's quite obvious why I don't use that strategy, because it always ends up being the same people with their hands up and also the same people who want to answer the questions. And so there are lots of alternatives than using hands up, where you're always going to get the same people putting their hands up. How can we actually provide a more equitable environment where everybody has a voice, everybody is participating in their own way without having to put their hands up? So I have 7 different strategies that I'm going to share with you today. And the first one is one that a lot of teachers use, that's called think, pair, and share. So it's really important that students have some think time. When we pose any kind of question, give your students that individual think time. Then they can pair up with either somebody in the classroom or someone next to them, and then they can have a little discussion and share their ideas with each other. And then, if we want to see what their thinking is in the pair, we invite pairs to share their ideas. So it's not necessarily the people with their hands up, but different pairs of students will be sharing the ideas that they discussed. Now, another way to really ensure equitable participation from all students and teachers and workshops when you're posing any kind of question is to use whiteboards or response cards. So every single person has a whiteboard or response card. And when we pose a question, everyone is given a space to share their thinking on the whiteboard or response card. And then everybody displays their responses or their ideas. And that ensures that we see everyone's ideas, that we actually value everybody's thinking in the classroom, not just those students with their hands up. Now, the third strategy is to have small group discussions. Maybe you have groups of 3. That's the ideal group based on Peter Ligedel's research, Building Thinking Classrooms. So you have groups of 3 students where they discuss the prompt. And I believe that there's always safety in numbers. So rather than calling out particular students randomly, like using paddle pop sticks, why don't we encourage our students to share their ideas in pairs or groups of 3, and then to share that feedback in a group situation? Number 5 is one that I use in all of my workshops, and it's to do with thumbs up, thumbs down, and it's at your chest. So you're not raising your hand, thumbs up, thumbs down, but you're putting a thumb up to your chest. So it's a very personalized, individual vote, and only the teacher can see the actual vote. So students are not asked to identify when they don't understand something with a thumb down, and everybody can see that. But instead, it's a discreet way, a way that builds psychological safety, I think, to let the teacher know whether you understand and you can move on, whether you are not sure, or whether you really need a little bit more help in a certain area. So thumbs up, thumbs to the side, thumbs down at your chest. Number 6 is asking students for individual written reflections. And this can be in the form of a visible thinking routine or some kind of prompt where you're asking students to really think deeply about the concepts that were involved during the lesson or at the end of a lesson. And that means that we can still honor everybody's individual reflection. And then maybe in a small group, they can share the reflections, or the teacher can actually collect them all. And it's a great way for us to be able to collect evidence of student learning. Number 7, of course, is using some kind of ed tech. So we can use some kind of digital polling, online tool, and everybody can vote anonymously for different responses, or it can be a free response and that can be anonymous too. And that's another way that we can honor everybody's voice and allow everybody to participate without putting their hands up. Oh, And that was number 7, but I think I missed out number 4, which was to do with the gallery walk. So maybe students have actually written their individual reflections and they're anonymous. They could be put up around the classroom for a gallery walk so that all the students can have a look at everybody else's responses. So let's go back to those 7, even though they weren't in order. Number 1, think, pair, and share. Number 2, whiteboards, response cards. Number 3, using group discussions, safety in numbers. Number 4, which I just talked about, was gallery walks and putting up student thinking around the classroom. Number 5 was being really discreet with thumbs up or thumbs down at your chest. Number 6 was individual written reflections. And the last one, number 7, was using a digital polling online tool. So if you've got any other ideas about how we can discourage that practice of hands up in the classroom and who can answer this question, please feel free to put it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for joining me this week, and I hope to see you next time.